Hello everyone, this is my official announcement video about Weather and Tornadoes Remastered, which is a remake of the original Weather and Tornadoes mod by Corosus back in 1.2.5, which is a pretty long time ago now. Many of you probably don't know what that even is, but basically there was an old tornado mod back in the early versions of Minecraft, which for many of us is very nostalgic and is kind of like a classic Minecraft mod. And for me personally, it was what got me into modding in the first place. And so I decided as a project to remake this mod for modern Minecraft. And it's been a multi-year long project because I'm just one person working just in my free time, but it's finally done. And so although I've had some videos on this channel already talking about some of the earlier versions of the mod and kind of documenting the progress, this is now the final version. So I was just gonna do a little showcase of it in old Minecraft style and kind of just let you guys know what's going on with it. And maybe for those of you who know what I'm talking about and who also played the original mod, you'll find this interesting. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing I want to get into is the new items. So these are the items which were in the original Tornado mod. We have the Shockwave item, the Drill item, Worm Gun, Tornado Gun, and this one is technically new, but it's very similar to the Tornado Gun. And then we have, of course, the Siren and the Sensor. And you can see over here, I placed these down earlier. So the first thing is we're going to go over the Shockwave and the Drill item. Now, these items are kind of random. They don't necessarily have anything to do with tornadoes or weather, but they were in the original mod, and they are basically like physics tools, or they kind of just launch blocks around, which is very cool. The Shockwave item does what it says, creates a shockwave of blocks, and you can also launch mobs up with this. We can see this cat here, which is pretty cool. It does launch players as well. And there are different stages to this item. So this is actually, if I go in my inventory, this is strength 5. There are multiple stages of this item you can get and upgrade it. So this is the strongest stage. The next item is the Drill item, which is very similar to the Shockwave item, except instead of launching blocks up in a shockwave, it will dig the blocks out of the ground and just pile them up, which is really satisfying to do, honestly. So, yeah, kind of random items, but you can get them in survival. I did give you away. It's a little challenging, but they are pretty OP, so I guess it makes sense they would be a bit of a challenge to get, but they're very fun to mess around with. So, that's the Shockwave and the Drill item. The Worm Gun is even more random than the other two items. It basically will just create a worm out of these blocks. And in the original mod, it was fire blocks that it created the worm with. So I kept it the same here. Although you can use the Mimic Worm Gun, and it will mimic the block that you're standing on top of. So this is only a creative mode item. But you can get the fire one in survival mode. It will hurt enemies and mobs if they touch the fire. And it will kind of just wander around until it falls apart. So this might actually burn this forest down when it falls into fire blocks. But yeah, just a random item, but kind of cool. It's just part of the original Tornado mod experience. Yep, there it goes. And then, of course, the next item we have is the Tornado Gun. This is what summons the tornadoes, and you can get it in survival mode as well, if you want. And a Water Spout Gun. So, first, I don't really have a great body of water here to show you the Water Spout, but I'll, yeah, let's just go ahead and do the Tornado. Let's just get right into it. So, you can just right-click with the Tornado Gun, and it will create a tornado on top of you. So, keep that in consideration. And this is a... Oh, you can see there's achievements in this mod. So you can get achievements, and there are challenges you can do. So yeah, this is the kind of default tornado. Those of you who played the original mod or have seen the original mod, this is probably very familiar to you. I tried to keep it as similar as possible to the original mod. And you can notice that the destruction path is pretty bad. Like, it just rips, it burrows into the ground. And that's configurable. Most things in this mod are configurable. So if you don't want this kind of destruction, you can change it, but this is the default, so. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And there are multiple different stages of tornadoes. Let's go to survival and see how much I get sucked. Yeah, so it is pulling me right now. But I can fight it. I'm far enough away. I noticed that when you jump, it like really takes you if you're off the ground. Okay, let's go. And we're off. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm dead. Oh no. I forgot to set my spawn point. Sorry about that. But this is a good opportunity to showcase the next two items, which are the siren and the sensor. So let me go ahead and summon another tornado. And I'll place these down, and you can see that the sensor will output redstone signal when there's a tornado nearby. And then it's meant to be used with the siren. The siren by itself won't sound an alarm. You can use it with redstone. And that is a classic tornado mod sound. For those of you who are familiar with the original, you'll recognize it. It's also used in Corosus' new tornado mod, the localized weather mod. But this was the original. Looks very cool, if I say so myself. Make it daytime again. And part of me wants to... Let me just... I have the original programmer art texture pack on. Let's, maybe this will save me? I doubt it. But let's see. Let's try this again. Well, let's make it, peaceful as well. Whoa! Okay. So, if you land underwater, you can actually escape the suction of the tornado. It can be challenging to do, though, because you really have no control over the situation. But that is, like, a good way to get out of it, if there's a body of water. No! No, please, please, no, please, no! No! So close. But if you can't manage to find a body of water, you can get, like, caught under a tree or something, and that will save you, but you're kind of just screwed. Oh, yeah, it's going into the mountainside. Yeah, the tornadoes will adjust their height, so, like, you'll notice that when it gets up there, its clouds will actually begin to move up. Whoa! Some of those blocks are going very fast. Yeah, so you can see the clouds are beginning to climb with the tornado as well. So that way it works on any world type or custom maps. But yeah, there are some commands you can use. So if we use like /weather mod to spell all tornadoes, this will make the tornado die. So you'll see it starts to lose strength until eventually it dissipates. Yep. There it goes. And then the clouds will start to disappear. So yeah, that's a good little showcase of the default tornado, at least. As I said, maybe this would be a good time to show off the next item, the water spout gun. This is basically a weaker tornado that only survives over water. If it hits land, it will dissipate. And it's much weaker, and it's not that dangerous. So you can still be dropped to your death, though. It is not completely no big deal. Oh, oh, oh. No, no, no. I don't want to die right now. I am fighting right now. You can't see. And there we go. And now it starts to die. Oh, that poor sheep. Oh no. Okay, let's go back to creative mode, and I'm going to show you there are these new puddle blocks which will generate from water spouts, as well as from new weather events. So it's keeping it together. It is random how long the tornadoes last, and they can reform sometimes. So this one's really doing well. You can't. One does not simply look away. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that's the water spout and the tornado. These are the two basic like twisters that you can get in this mod. At least the two most common. The other ones you have to access differently. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear my inventory. And I'm gonna get some stuff ready and show you the next parts of this mod. Alright, I got some new stuff set up. So we have a new batch of items to show off. We have the weather forecaster, the tornado dispeller, the adjustable canopy, and the rainfall detector, not cobblestone. So I'm actually going to do this in reverse order. So over here I have a little setup showcasing the rainfall detector and the adjustable canopy. And these basically have interactions with the rain. So the rainfall detector basically does what it says. If it is raining, it will output a redstone signal, like the daylight detector does, but for weather. So that might be useful for some things, and it actually is very useful to use with the canopy, because there is a new weather event in this mod. If I go ahead and do weather mod set heavy downfall to true, it's going to get darker, and that rain is going to become heavier, as you can tell. YouTube compression is going to love this. But it will actually output a stronger signal depending on the strength of the rain. So rain can now have light or heavy strength. And heavy downfall like this will actually cause flooding. I don't see any of it happening yet. And by flooding, I mean like this. Puddles will start to generate. Now this is actually kind of a problem because the puddles will actually destroy crops. So that's why this is really helpful, is the canopies can be used to block the rain, see? So that's kind of their purpose. And you can use that with this to create a setup to like prevent downpours or heavy downfall events from destroying your crops. Let's set it daytime again. You can turn off heavy downfall if you don't want to have to deal with that in your world, but it is just another event. I'm not going to showcase it in this video, but it does also apply in snowy biomes, and it will cause snow buildup and also frostbite. So you will need to get near heat sources or stay inside during heavy snow events. But I'm not going to showcase that because I don't want this video to be too long. But anyways, those are those two new blocks. The next thing we have is the dispeller, and this would be better if I showcase this after this next item. So the weather forecaster will, well, forecast weather events on their way. So you can see it says clear. That means there is no weather events scheduled to happen soon. It can provide false positives, but generally it's reliable, the forecaster. Now you can also hold shift and click with it, and it will switch to like storm mode, tornado mode. And this will basically detect any active tornadoes. So it says no vortices detected because there's no tornadoes. If we go ahead and spawn a tornado, you're going to see that the forecaster will actually start making a noise. It has a built-in alarm, so you can hear that. And now if I interact with the forecaster, active tornado, significant danger. So just a kind of, I don't know, little fun tool, I guess, if you're maybe underground and you want to know what's going on, because different tornadoes will have different danger levels. So you can gauge based on the warning how powerful the tornado is. You can also switch it back to the normal mode. But yeah, it also acts as like a mobile siren. If you carry it anywhere in your inventory, it will make the noise. So, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and do a little cheat real quick. And we can get into this in a little while. Let me go ahead and just kill that. There we go. So yeah. Oh, I am an idiot. The dispeller, of course, of course. Well, this is a good time to show you this little debug menu, I guess. This is activatable, if that's a word, in the config. So this is from the original Tornado mod. And there's lots of tools here that you can mess around with the weather. It basically gives you complete control over the weather. And there's lots of info you can toggle. The custom tornado, I have a video on that already on this channel, but yes, this mod allows you to create your own custom tornadoes, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and force tornado, and it will create a new one. The dispeller is a unique block that lets you, well, destroy tornadoes. It's kind of like an offensive block for dealing with tornadoes. So I'm going to go ahead and place them down. And as you can see, the tornado has been killed. So this is basically for like defense. If you want to protect yourself from tornadoes, you can use dispellers. And yes, stronger tornadoes take more dispellers to dissipate. But yeah, kind of a cool item. Next, we're going to go over really quickly some of the new utility items in this mod, which were not in the original version. Alright, we're here with the turbines. So, turbines are a new block that can be used to push stuff around. They are powered by filled wind vessels. I'll get into how you get these. You can also use wind charges, which you get from breezes, to power them. They have multiple different settings on how far they'll push items. Or mobs as well. So you can see I can drop an item and they'll push it. Or I can go here and it will push me. And they can push straight up as well. So they're pretty useful for transporting stuff around. And automation is possible. You can use hoppers to put fuel into them. And redstone to toggle between their settings. So yeah, they're kind of a cool item. You can get the wind vessels, the filled wind vessels, with this other new block over here called wind channelers. These basically let you, like, capture wind. So you can see that the wind in the world is blowing this direction. And I'm actually going to show you real quick. If I get a torch, you can see the particles are going this way. Particles will blow with the wind in this mod. So you can see that the wind is blowing this way, and you can see that it's going in from the particles. And you can see over here, this one is a bit more full than this one. You can tell based on the little white outline. If I make it nighttime, they actually glow, which is pretty cool. So as they get filled with wind, you can use a wind vessel, like an empty one, which there are crafting recipes for everything on the CurseForge page, or the mod runs page. But you can just interact, and that will give you wind vessels, the filled ones, which you can use for turbines. So these are kind of some cool new wind-related blocks. I wanted the wind to have more than just ambient effect. I wanted it to be actually useful for something. But yeah. So you probably saw this structure next to me, and these are new structures that will generate in the world. And they are called puzzle chambers. They are basically puzzles relating to these channels and these turbines. So the purpose of them is basically to get the loot item, which is in a block like this. And you cannot get this item through breaking the block. You have to blow them out with a turbine. So you can see right here, this turbine is blowing straight up. And so you need to get this turbine turned on. But this is, of course, a different kind of turbine than that one. if you try to turn it on, it won't work. You need to basically direct the wind to it a different way. You can't access it to put your wind vessels in, so you need to channel it with basically other turbines. So I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to increase the wind. Let's get it windy up in here. And then which way is the wind blowing? I think it's blowing this way. No. Yeah, there we go. So you can see the wind is going into this channel. And this channel is darker. You can see from these other ones. It's a different texture. This is the one that you have to start with. And then you basically just go through and align the channels with the turbines. And you can use the redstone to toggle them if you want. See, I can turn it off. Or turn it on. So I need to keep the wind going. There are enemies trying to spawn, but I have it on peaceful. So it can be a little challenging. And there we go. So they're really simple. They're not intimidating at all. But they're very cool and very fun to do. So look, this one's off, so I need to use the redstone. I need to use a lever or something. There we go. And then, for as long as the wind is blowing into this one, which it is, they will continue to blow, and the item is being pushed out. So, challenge complete. Then you can get all kinds of loot items in there, like diamonds and stuff, but this is an item you need for crafting, like the shockwave item. So, yeah, that's what these are for. You don't have to do them if you don't want, but they're how you get some of the items in survival mode, if you're interested in doing that. But yes. Again, I have a comprehensive video on my channel going into this more in depth, but this is supposed to be a quicker video, and it's probably going to be too long anyways. There's a lot to go over. Alright, now it's time to go over the weather. And I do have the Storm Infuser and the Wind Corer, which are two new items, which I'll go over briefly in a little while. But I'm going to explain a little bit about how the weather works in this mod. So, basically, storms now have 5 different stages that they can progress to. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3, Stage 4, and Stage 5, which is basically the EF scale of this mod. So this is just a rainstorm. I'm going to go to the next stage. And this is just weather events. I'm cheating with this menu, but this will happen naturally in the world. You can also use commands. Set, severe storm, true, and then you can choose the stage. So I'm just doing this because it's quicker. So stage 2 storms are where tornadoes can begin to spawn. Stage 1 is actually pretty safe. Stage 3, of course, 4, and then 5. And you can see how dark it gets. It's daylight right now, and it looks like it's nighttime. So, I'm not going to showcase all the different kinds of tornadoes, because I want you guys to play the mod and experience it yourself. But I will show you, let's do stage 4. Let's get a siren going. So this is going to be total devastation. Also, I apologize if there's some lag. I am using recording software that impacts performance. But I really tried to make this mod as performance-friendly as possible, so you shouldn't have trouble with it. Especially if you use sodium. Oh, yeah. And what's funny is that actually, something I learned was that chickens will actually never die to tornadoes. And the reason he's not getting sucked up as much is because I think it's reached its max mob count. You can configure how many mobs and blocks you want to be maximum. But yeah, you see how the chickens, they don't actually fall. They never fall to their death, so they're pretty safe. They can get hit by debris, though. It is throwing blocks everywhere. That's the thing. If you care about your world, this is not the best mod to use. This mod will destroy your world. Oh, and it's dying already. That was very quick. That was a suspiciously quick tornado. Well, our world was spared a little bit of damage. But as you can see, yeah, it's not pretty. If you care about your world, you should either turn the destruction level down in the config, or just don't install this mod. It's gonna destroy your world. So that was stage 4. Let's go ahead and get 2 of them in here. You can choose how many max tornadoes you want to be able to have. It's by default 2. Whoa. A little bit of lag there. Tornadoes can collide with each other and combine to be even bigger tornadoes, but it's a little rare for that to happen. But here, I feel like I have to do it. I still have not set my spawn, so if I die, I'm just gonna go teleport who knows where. But it has to be done. I'm going. Take me. I want to be free. Oh man. Oh, I'm getting pulled by both of them. I can feel the contradiction. Oh, that's not what I had in mind. That is not what I had in mind. They're both pulling me, so I'm getting like disturbed from both sides. Yeah, let's try over here. Ow. See what I mean, how the trees can protect you? Okay, this is not working. The trees are too much protection. When I want to be sucked up by a tornado, I can't do it. And when I don't want it, then I do. Whoa, here we go. Ow. Oh, yep, they're both here, right next to each other. I am being pulled both ways. Oh, no. Yeah, there's no way I'm surviving that. Oh, I'm getting pulled already. Whoa. No, I was not prepared for this, please. Have mercy. No. Okay. If you can get yourself into a position like this, you're good. Unless they get too close, in which you get yoinked upwards. Oh, they are inside each other. This poor forest. It will never recover. I'm gonna go ahead and kill these. There we go. Oh my. Yeah. That's pretty bad. Would not want my house under that. I very much recommend that you play as a nomad if you're going to do a survival with this mod in. Do not become too attached to any house or area in general. So, anyways, that's how the storm systems work, and the tornadoes that scale with the storms. There are also storm clusters, which are a new feature that were actually in the original mod, but they were never fully developed. You can see we have one over here. Oh, we have one that was natural. I spawned that one, I think. The way that these work is that they can spawn tornadoes if they get strong enough, but they will actually act as like wind amplifiers. So you can see underneath, I get pushed by the wind. So it can also blow open like doors and gates and press buttons. You can hear the wind sound. It's very strong wind underneath these. And they will spawn tornadoes, special type of tornadoes. Like, especially dangerous ones, so that can be a problem. And you can see actually if I use my weather reader, and I go to storm mode, storm cluster detected, low risk. So that means that I'm pretty safe with this. Not a chance, there's no chance it's going to create a tornado. But that can change, so. Anyways, Now I'm going to show you the last little feature in this mod, Storm Infuser and the Wind Core. These are like kind of like the Shockwave item and stuff. They are like little random items. These are new. These were not in the original mod. And the way they work is, and this also goes for the Shockwave item, you can see that these both have like stage strength 1. In order to upgrade these items, you need to put them inside of a Storm Infuser, like that. And you have to get this into the center of a tornado, okay? So I'm actually I'll show you. Let's just spawn a tornado. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it didn't spawn one. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. There we go. So watch this. We can get this somewhere like right here, and then I put in the Shockwave item. Yeah, there we go. Okay. You've done your job, Tornado. You can see that it's yellow now, and if I get it, it's now strength 2, and it will upgrade to the stage of the tornado. So this was a stage 2 tornado, so it was upgraded to stage 2 Shockwave. So you can see it's a little powerful, but not... It's no stage 5. This goes for the Wind Core as well. So if I go ahead and grab the stage 5 Wind Core, I'm going to show you what this can do. You can grab blocks with it, launch them, kill animals with them. You can also kill mobs, lift mobs. So, alright, Ocelot. You got unlucky. You're the one I chose. See? You can just pull them to you. You can't launch mobs, but you can pull them. Oh. You survived. No. Okay. I've never heard that death sound before. Wow. Okay, but anyways. You can also build stuff with them. So... See? It will actually go to where you're aiming. Not incredibly convenient, but still cool. The next thing you can do with them is create your own little tornado that will move to where you're looking. And it will suck up mobs and hurt them. Like, they'll... Okay, that's the worst mob to choose. I need to choose something that will actually take fall damage. What the heck was that? That was weird. I don't know what just happened. Oh, I'm in peaceful, of course, of course. How hard is it just to find... There we go. Oh my, what is that? That is weird. I don't know why that's going off. Bizarre. Okay. That aside, if we go ahead and use the tornado on these guys, they will just keep taking fall damage. Oh. It does have a limit on how long you can use it, and then you have to have a cooldown. It does work on players as well. Oh yeah. I think it's lag. My recording software is lagging out a bit. Oh, there they are. You can also repel. If you hold crouch and do this, you'll repel mobs from you, which can be kind of useful. And yeah, it depends on whether it's offhand. If it in the offhand, you do the tornado. In the main hand, you just grab. So that's the Wind Core and the Shockwave item. So yeah, that's basically all the content in the mod. Well, that's not entirely true. There's a lot of other secret content in this mod that I'm sure you guys will find if you play it. And it's very complicated. There's a lot of stuff going on with the weather. I can't go over it in one video, and I don't want to. I want it to be a kind of a surprise. It makes it more interesting. But yeah, this is my my remake of the original Weather and Tornadoes mod, and this has been endorsed by Corosus, so that's awesome. Corosus is like one of the best Minecraft modders of all time, so it was an honor to have him be willing to give me his assets to make this mod. I hope you guys will enjoy it. It will probably not receive any more major updates, but it will be updated to the newest versions of Minecraft. At least I would like that to be the case. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoy this. I look forward to seeing how you destroy your worlds with this mod. And, yeah, see ya.